Woo! All right. The cool grill and the cool cowboy. Don't know if troll, but I'll take it. We're jumping into game number 2, guys, of the winners of finals at brackets. The Rising Taquitos with a very solid first game up against Shot and the Bullets. Shot definitely falling a little flat against the Vikings and the Hammer, and the entire comp was just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it definitely was. Coming up into the picks and bans, because they lost the last game, those Shot and the Bullets do possibly have the chance to get that Hammer back. We've seen how much they like to play with Sergeant Hammer. Or I'd be interested to see if maybe they ban her or, ban the Vikings even.
Banning a Hammer on Sky Temple, I don't know. I don't really think I see that too much. It's a gigantic map, and going from point A to point B, it's not always the easiest thing for a Hammer. A lot of points of vulnerability, but either way, let's jump right on into the draft as these teams are raring to go. It has been almost 5 hours now for some of these teams, and there's still grand finals left to do. So the faster we get this going, the faster we can determine who's going home with those seeding points. And that is just a shame. Shot in the Bullets are saying no, we don't want a Hammer whatsoever. So
I don't see. I don't have the draft, so just go ahead and go with it, and I'll just.
It's not loading for you?
Oh, now it just loaded. Okay.
Awesome. There you go. No problem. No problem.
You're right. Shot and the Bullets have banned that Sergeant Hammer, and the Rising Taquitos have banned the Nazebos. So they're basically saying, you don't get this, and you don't get this to each other.
I totally clicked the wrong button. Bam. There we go. Nope. I am bad.
No.
Third time the charm, guys. Third time the charm. All right, because it's, Shot and the Bullets got first. They ban out this. These guys ban out that. First pick into an Uther. Hold on.
Very, very interesting. First pick Uther. Right away wanting to secure those heals and the stuns as well. And for the Rising Taquitos, a Rhaegar Vala.
Ancestors watch over you.
Well met, friend.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be a Hammer build. I'm curious to see if the Taquitos are actually going to take Nazebo's done, and so same with the Sergeant Hammer. So could actually leave us open for a Zagara, but Rising Taquitos with the Illidan is also dissuading now Shot in the Bullets to pick up the Illidan. They still might, though, because Tassadar still on the board, Malfurion's still on the board, right wing there. And Shot in the Bullets have shown us that in the past, but they're also right now showing us what they usually ban, which is the ETC.
Oh, yes. Yep, so they've picked up an ETC as well, and I'm thinking maybe an assassin this time, or could be, I guess, another support as well, just trying to secure the 2 supports that they might want. I guess an Illidan would be pretty fun to see. We've seen it before as well, but they've still got a lot of different options.
Now, there has been a little bit of theory crafting floating around that the Vikings in the lane up against an Illidan early on is something that Illidan cannot really deal with. Like the 3 sources of damage, the spin to win, jumps, all that jazz. It's not a good lane for him. So knowing that the Taquitos will actually like to run the Vikings, we might even be further dissuaded from it. And Shot in the Bullets are actually going to surprise me a little bit and take a Falstad.
Well, they saw a Falstad on Sky Temple. The mobility, as we said before, is really good when you need to take those temples. So I guess maybe they're hoping that mobility will come in handy. The Rising Taquitos have countered with taking Tassadar, and then, of course, the Lost Vikings picked as well. Not a last pick, though.
Okay. They're showing their colors a little early, although, I mean, at this point, there's almost no doubt in anybody's mind that the Rising Taquitos, if you don't ban the Vikings, as I said, I don't think there's been a point that I haven't seen them played. And Horsepants, once again, on a big map like this, where everyone gathers for tributes, for the temples, well, that can lead you into some really good experience games in some of those other lanes. So we'll have to see if the Horsepants will lead into that. Shot in the Bullets, though, kind of what will they finish off this comp with?
Yeah, those Vikings are so nice on any of the any of the maps where people have to leave lane for a significant amount of time, because having at least even a Viking just in one lane when no one else does is going to help skyrocket that experience gain. And we saw what Rising Taquitos can do with an experience lead. So to counter that shot, and the Bullets have picked up a Zagara. So they've picked up a specialist of their own. And let's see, what are you thinking for this last pick for them?
Well, I was actually curious to see if the Taquitos would pick up the Zagara, but hey, Shot wants to take it. I mean, you have a lot of targets. You're going to have 7 targets to get that ball into. But in terms of a last pick here, I mean, we got the back end, or we got the back line. We got the ETC out front. Tassadar is taken, which would lead us, I almost want to say a Zeratul at this point, because Shot and the Bullets could easily set up the VP or into a Maw, or a Maw into VP and Mosh. Or either way, you can time out some really good stuff with the Hinterland Blast. And Zeratul is a very good pickup up against Vikings, because the stealth, and if you're not paying enough attention to that lone guy, you can literally just walk right up to him and do the full combo. Eric will melt under the bomb pressure, for example. But okay, it's not going to be that. It will be a double tank lineup with that Mirrodin.
They've picked Mirrodin, and Rising Taquitos have picked up Stitches.
That was quick.
They're like, wait, a last pick Stitches? Yes, please. And quickly picked up Stitches. So that'll be it. That's all she wrote. We'll see if maybe Stitches could get a pull into those body blocking Vikings for Tassadar and Vala to just rain down destruction upon them.
All right, so with your team comps out, Taquitos once more are going to be showing us the Viking love. And, 1 tank versus 2. We do get the double support only up against the Uther. So Shot and the Bullets seems a bit more, I don't know, like risky, less damagey. I'm not entirely too sure they got the kits here to deal with the Taquitos, but it's really going to come down to some of this early game play again. And if we can't limit the potential there of those Vikings, then when it comes to 10, that longboat, especially if you're ahead, is just going to absolutely wreck.
Oh yeah, and then of course too, we actually saw something very similar like this when Shot and the Bullets played the Heartbreakers, where you had the double tanks and then also Zagara and Falstad, and it's very difficult to try to get, all of the damage out, especially if Zagara gets caught out. She doesn't have much escape. She moves faster on her creep, but you can't always guarantee you'll be on it, so it'll definitely be interesting to see what they can do versus basically Vikings and then everybody else on the team.
Regardless, the Taquitos are up 1-0, looking to solidify this for a 2 and a quick ticket there into the grand finals. So you know them, you love them. It's Hans, it's Mistakes, Arise Chicken, Horse Pants, and Belfray.
And on our red team, we've got Shot and the Bullets is Base Drop, Visceral Shot, aka Face, and Barcode.
Beep boop. So they're gonna put the Falstad into the bottom lane, and I think we talked about this a little bit earlier on, but with that fly ability and the immenseness of this map, putting the Falstad into the far lane, because we know that it's going to be the mid temple and the top temple. Putting him into this bottom lane, especially with Bribe back in the day, although usually you see Power Throw, which you do see here as well. It can really go a long way to getting that experience soak. And you're going to need all the experience you can, especially up against this Viking split, which is once more just kind of a 2-1.
Yep, so we're seeing a lot of people here in mid, which is something interesting, but not uncommon for this map in particular, because as you said, Forecourt Jester, in bottom lane, there's no temple that spawns there for the first round, so it's a lot more common that you would see more people here in the middle lane as well. But just trading blows a little bit on that regard, and we're going to have our first 2 temples very soon.
The top lane is the wet noodle fight in this regard. Not really too much is going to go down there, but this 4-man or 3 1/4 man mid. It's not really making too much headway up against the Zagara, and they got the Uther there to support the siege. And you know, will Horsepants actually come up for these tributes? Will he split and soak? Looks like he's actually going to bring all three. Nope, he's just swapping. He's going to put Olaf into the bottom. And there goes the Falstead.
Yep, he's flying up to mid. They're going to try to secure this mid temple. Everyone's here trying to get that one first, not even trying to figure out the top one for now. Base drop power slides in, tries to push Hans back, who gets stunned by Muradin. So far, they are doing a good job of not quite dying. Shot is so low, but he does get taken out finally. And with that shot, the bullets are going to have to disengage, giving the middle temple to Rising Taquitos.
And that could actually be really disastrous by the end of it all, because if they don't contest top, they're going to lose it. But if they also don't go down bottom to contest Horsepants, they're going to lose out on that experience as well. I mean, it's already 5-4. Over a level already has been soaked from this Viking split. So once again, showing off some really good mechanics here for the Horsepants. And the split soak is pretty real from them.
Yeah, it definitely is. Now, everyone's trying to contest for the top one. Hans is trying to get the hook, but is unable to grab AKA face, and it looks like Shot and the Bullets are maybe just waiting for Zagar to come back in. They're trying to get back in now. They really need to get some of the shots off of this. They push and try to get Mistacks. Mistacks just barely dies. Rhaegar was trying to keep her alive with the heals, but couldn't quite do it. And now part of the top temple will be able to be contained by Shot and the Bullets, but when it comes to the temples, overall this round, Rising Taquitos definitely won this round.
Yeah, taking about 1.5 and the split soaking pressure. Level 7 has now been awarded at the 3.5 minute mark, which is a good amount of time before we actually pick up the 7 here from the Shot and the Bullets. So a little bit of an advantage if it comes to another fight, but we don't really see a fight brewing anywhere, so it's not really going to matter too much in the long run. Now, the next temple will be bottom. You can already see Olaf. He's just going to leave out that lane. It looks like the Vikings are going to go murking a little bit. But they also got Eric now back in this lane. And once more, you know, taking multiple objectives and split soaking. It's really bringing Horsepants and crew to that race to 10 very, very quick.
Yeah, that experience lane means that Rising Taquitos can actually leave lane a little bit, as you're seeing them do. They're taking the bruisers, which, as I mentioned, the earlier game that we had in Sky Temple is really good at this point in the game, because the next temple that's going to spawn is going to be bot, and Shot and the Bullets are going to have to figure out, do we try to deal with bruisers pushing on our gate, or do we have to go down and take that temple?
Shot had a cheeky sledgehammer there on top of a turret, but he ran into the rest of the enemy team. And Muradin going down, like the tempo hasn't spawned yet, so it's okay. He's going to be in the fight, but had he waited, another 10-15 seconds or so, that could have been an absolutely disastrous timing. Arise Chicken's getting bullied out on the top lane as well, and he's going to be all right. Still, Visceral and crew, they're going to be pushing in, but we're going to be looking for that bottom migration soon enough. We're protecting out these siege golems in the bottom lane, and that's actually getting us the gate already. So this bottom temple is going to do even more damage now that multiple targets are missing.
Yeah, so smart to push here on bot, where the temple will be hitting, and of course, with getting those turrets, it got the level 10 talents for Rising Taquitos. Going into this temple now, they have the level 10 talents, and Shot and the Bullets don't have it. They are so close. They'll probably be able to get it, but during this time, Taquitos have had plenty of time to set up here at bot.
Yeah, and you can see Shot and the Bullets, they absolutely are not even going to bother contesting. They're just going to trade it out like they've been doing. They took out the top. Nobody was there to stop them. We do got the Vikings actually now in the mid, whereas we had them actually pushing out the bottom as well. But the temple will start firing, I think, on mid next, and it will. I'm actually curious, will that take out mid? There's even more than half shots left. That's going to be the mid fort, unless Red can do something about it. It doesn't look like they're in position.
They had pinged the golem, but I think they didn't feel safe taking out the boss. They haven't not really making much of anything, considering the fact that Stitches is down on bot. They're going to try to push into this mid, but I think that, you know, Taquitos will have no problem defending this.
372 APM coming out from ETC. 500, 600 APM. What is he doing? I'm actually just looking to around to see if I can find experience, and I can. So we'll talk about that after Zagara goes down in a really quick fashion. We do got all the heroics from both sides, and unfortunately, it just looks like Shot once again is just getting bullied straight out. Horsepants in the back with that mortar, with that Viking boat, nearly takes down Barcode, but base drop, however, is going to be low enough. He will drop 13 to 11, going back and forth, and the Vikings and crew once more just looking very strong for contention into the winners finals.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a boss for sure. We've still got ETC down for 8 more seconds, and the boss is already at halfway health. Red team, I don't think, can do anything to contest this, and so they're instead going to have to be dealing with defending it while the next temple starts to spawn.
Taking a quick look here at talents, as that boss is going to make its way through the bottom lane, as he did say. Again, Horsepants, top and mid soak. Looks like Zagara, however, is going to go down. Did get off a Moth. Who's in that Moth?
A mighty Maw.
4 opponents. Unfortunately, she still lost her life by the end of it all.
So we're seeing a great play. Taquitos are heading up to steal the bruisers from the side of the map of Shot and the Bullets. They know that Shot and the Bullets have to go and defend this boss, which means it gives them plenty of space and time to be able to push lanes as the Vikings, because we all know that's what they do best, and then of course to secure those bruisers. And they're going to go straight up and take out the turret in top lane and start to get some port damage as well. And the next temples are going to be active.
Top and bottom. Well, definitely we're looking at the Taquitos owning out that top, but if these bruisers are going to go uncontested, and it looks like they will, that's going to be a fort on top of all of this. So Blue decides, nope, Taquitos, they're not in it for the easy temple. They're going to go contest the bottom one. And hey, why not? I mean, they're about to hit 15. They got a 3-level lead. The experience contribution from the Vikings is absolutely outstanding. And, you know, when you're up that talent tier, almost 2 talent tiers, I mean, push to your advantage. Go for those fights. You have the power.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And so they're going to be looking for a fight. They hook Visceral, instant death. Base drop gets the mosh pit, but only Valkyrie and Hans. He's going down quickly thanks to that Archon. Barcode is taking so much damage from the Viking boat. He's just sitting next to him. He has to barrel roll away. Shot jumping away as well. Unfortunately, Aquaface so low and down on bottom. He is going to die, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Blue team takes the bottom shrine, and red team has to go away.
The team has to go away. That's
go
right.
away. They have to go away.
Go away. So yes, they've contested the bottom. They have now won it. They will claim their top shrine, top temple there as well. 16 to 13, still maintaining that talent advantage. And my goodness, Rising Taquitos once again impressing the hell out of me.
Yeah, 16 to 13 means that Rising Taquitos just got their level 16 talents, and Shot and the Bullets only just got their level 13 talents. They've got a long way to go to catch up to that 16, and unfortunately, they don't only have so many structures left to be taking damage from these temples. They are going to get some of the bullets from the top one. Hans pulls Shot. Shot's able to get away pretty easily, but Horsepants is right in the middle of the rest of the team. Such as going in with that bile, doing so much work. Zagara is going down. Aquaface is close. He's the next victim. And base drop will follow thanks to that Horsepants ult. Shot and Barcode getting close, but should be able to just get away. Especially since it's just Rhaegar chasing. Not too bad as far as damage.
Hey, the fight dog is real, okay? You'd be surprised, you know, it's what is the butt biting build.
Barrel lunge.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. 100% recommend He did actually take the Earthgrasp Totem as well. You can take the Blood for Blood if you really want to get into a 1v1 scenario. But the Earthgrasp overall for a team like this is fantastic. They take the fight. Olaf is just up here belly bouncing around with some of those neutral minions, but there goes the shots. The keeps are not looking so good. We still have a Stone Bro in the bottom just working away at it. Top not looking so healthy, and you know, it's still a 3-level lead. The Taquitos are still on par to take this map.
They are, and especially if they can get a keep and have catapults pushing, that's going to be scary. Shot gets pulled out by Stitches. He's trying to get away. He's using Avatar. Wow, the Zagara Maw is epic. Catches 4. Bailing's going. Falstad ult takes out everybody. Oh my goodness. Only a single Viking in that boat is a sad boat indeed. What? That was an epic Hinterland Blast. My heart.
That was the combo that they've been striving to do this entire time, and they finally got it off. That was some really impressive work right there from Shot and the Bullets. But the Zagara into the Mosh really did some fantastic work. I mean, they got 2 of the Vikings almost immediately before the boat was able to go off, and they take Tazadar, one of the hardest guys to kill, and Stitches, and they did this 3 levels down. So the underdog experience kicking in a little bit. We're only down 2. I'm hesitant to call it a comeback, but if we can get more of that from shots here, then wow, they could really bring this back.
I just want more of that for epicness sakes, but at least they did finally secure those level 16 talents, so now there is not a talent lead anymore, even though there's still a bit of a level lead. What are we laughing at?
Triple imposing presence.
Oh my goodness.
Triple imposing presence. That's amazing. All right.
We're gonna have to see how that goes. Even imposing presence on Uther.
Yep. Every frontliner here has it.
Gonna be slowing down its attack speed for everybody. So we've got Temples up once again. It looks like everyone maybe is going for mid. Visceral getting a huge hook far away, but she's able to get out thanks to base trap zoning. They're trying to take out those Vikings. Ahmad does take out several of the heroes. Zagara goes down, and the boat's gonna be able to possibly get the kill on Falstad. Nope, he is getting out. He's like, forget you guys. I'm out of here. Uther running away. Only lost to Zagara there. That's pretty good considering the fact that all of them were very low.
And you saw the Maw go down. We saw the Falstad. He threw the Hinterland's Blast over top of it, but it wasn't really a kill-worthy kind of combo. They only got 2 of them. They were full health. There's no other follow-up to that. Zagara was just getting harassed. They weren't able to really put her in the back line whatsoever. So again, this is a fun thing you can do with Olaf. Late game Olaf with enough Viking horde to his name can literally just sit here and not really care. I mean, yeah, Horsepants has to put him back on the point, but he's not going to die. He can sit here and wait for the tempo shots to all deplete, and then everything will just turn to dust. Great.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. But meanwhile, in mid, while that's going on, we're still trying to fight for those last few shots on the mid temple. But Nuridin is down for 35 more seconds. So, gonna have a really hard time contesting that.
Still more.
And it's done.
Yeah, I'm just more intrigued with the Horsepants still down here.
He's now got 5 minions on him. Still going.
I hear that World of Warcraft 6.1 came out, and some people are gonna need a new raid leader. Olaf is looking good for the main tank position,
It's true, it is. It is. There's only a few shots left. But meanwhile, Zagara's picked up a Maw. He dropped the Falstad ult with the ETC helps them kill Stitches and Rhaegar, the mosh pit down, and that's pretty good. They only lost the Zagara for that. They're going to immediately try to take this boss away, and I don't think Vala and Tazadar will try to do anything. So that'll be a boss for Shot and the Bullets, and that will definitely help them out a little bit, relieve some of the pressure off of them, especially in the bot lane, where they don't have a keep.
Olaf went and finished off that temple, and you're right, there is no keep, but it will be Shots actually finishing off that boss. So, man, as I said, I don't really want to call this a comeback, but they are getting some excellent fights here in this late game. And they are still down, just under 2 levels. They're slowly bridging that gap. But now they have to deal with the level 20 Storm tier.
Oh, goodness. So we've got Ragnarok and Roll for that longbow. It's going to be even crazier, as well as Twilight Archon for Tassadar. And Nexus Frenzy for Vala, so a lot more damage going to be coming out for them, as well as Storm Shield for Rhaegar and Regenerative Bile for Stitches. So, making him even harder to kill. No big deal.
Vikings have 105,000 siege damage and counting.
Whew.
And they're number 2 on hero damage for their team, yet again. Once more showing off the power of the horse pants, so to speak. But yes, those level 20s could be game-changing. We're still 1 full level away from it here, from Shots and the bullets. And now a hook like that on top of the Uther, he's going to sprint. Yeah, he has to, man. That Rain of Vengeance came way too late, Mel. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's actually a big misplay come out of the Taquitos using that Rain of Vengeance when they did. Like, Vala now has to really hope that she doesn't need that ultimate the next 60 seconds.
Yeah, and she also took Searing Attacks instead of Battle Momentum. So she's not going to be able to auto-attack to try to get that heroic ability back sooner either.
And speaking of the Vala build, she is more or less a single target. She doesn't have the Rancor at level 1, but everything else fits into the single target with the Giant Killer, with the Blood for Blood. And, she just needs the damage. It's a double tank front line with Uther. You got some really big talents to take down those big baddies. But speaking of the big and the bad right now, both these teams, look at that Viking boat. 2 targets. Is actually now facing off against Feudalists, believe it or not. But there goes Face. He's going to go down. Base Drop has no hit points on the back of that. Shot is not looking so good here either. Visceral is now dead in the water, and any hope of a comeback is getting slaughtered with this team engage from the Taquitos. Horsepants is going to Z forward, looking for the go, but he won't be able to catch Base Drop. Base Drop does have the 20% movement speed on Rockstar. Rise Chicken's still looking to catch him out, but the longer they chase him, the less that they're DPSing down the core, and this keep is not it, and this is literally just game right here.
Yeah, the Temple still has plenty of time left to deal damage. It'll kill that keep first, but then that damage on top of the hero damage coming down on the core. Not much Muradin ETC can do to try to stop this. Muradin even dies protecting the core he loves so much. Base Drop going to possibly do the same, sitting right in the middle of everybody, including a Storm. And that's it. That's GG. That's a quick-ish 2-0 for Rising Taquitos, who will move on. Shot in the bullets will go down to our... I forget it every time. What do you call it again?
The bracket of alternate success.
There it is. There it is. So they still have another chance to come back. They'll have to play in the bracket of alternate success finals. So they could possibly come back. Right?
I kind of put up the wrong victory team. Shot in the bullets didn't win. I'm sorry.
Whoops.
Getting late. Sorry.
It is. We've been casting a while. It's fine.
Wrong victory screen. My bad. That's on Jester.
Hey, you're doing stuff on top of casting too. I appreciate you. I'm just sitting here talking about the game that I love so much. So I appreciate you. But yes, Shot in the Bullets will get another chance to come back and maybe get some revenge on the Rising Taquitos. But first, who will they have to play in the bracket of alternate success finals? I'm looking now, and it will be Backlash.
Backlash. We cover them. We did cover. That's Word of Fuck. Word of Fuck.
Yeah. Backlash actually beat the Heartbreakers 1-0 in the last match for the bracket of alternate success. So they will be taking on Shot in the Bullets. It'll be a best of 1, I believe. That's who we'll have next. Just one game to see who will get to face Rising Taquitos in the grand finals.
Exactly right. So when we return, the winner here to come back up against the Rising Taquitos. The Rising Taquitos are in a good position here to take first placed seeding points, because I believe that they will actually have a game up in their best of 3 for the grand finals, which means they have to win 1 instead of 2. So at minimum, we have 2 games left, maximum 3. But Gilly, you're a trooper. It's your first cast. You're 5 hours in. You're still coherently making sentences. It's a good sign. It's a good sign.
Thanks.
A fulfilling career ahead of you in Heroes of the Storm casting. So when we return, we will continue on with that career with our lower bracket finals in the brackets of alternate success.